What's up, ladies and gentlemen? In today's video, we're going to take a look at the positive side of the argument of what the next Battlefield already has going for it. And this video was inspired by basically just a bunch of people complaining to me in my YouTube comments that I am apparently too quote-unquote negative about Battlefield, and they'd like to see me be more positive. Why do they like to see me be more positive? Well, I for one think they just like being lied to. That's literally what I think. I think people love to hear what they want to hear, and they don't really want to hear the harsh reality of the situation. Now, just forget about that for a second. This video is actually going to be my opinions. It's going to be what I personally think the next Battlefield has going for it already, even before the game is even shown to us. So without further ado, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Over 70% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So you might think you are, but you actually aren't. So just check, it only takes one click. And also I stream every single day on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So turn notifications on, you don't want to miss a live. Tons of people have been showing up to the live streams, massive support, just generally insane. Thank you guys so much for that. Streaming 2042 and really streaming in general for me, I've been going at it for so long, and this has sort of spiced it up and made me enjoy it a little more, so that's really awesome. Now, what's the first thing I think the next Battlefield has going for it? Well, that's just pretty obvious, right? It's pretty easy in terms of concepts they have to choose from, and I'll just lay a few out. I think it'd be pretty awesome if they did a spin-off, an alternate history spin-off of the Gulf War. I think that would be pretty amazing. Easy content, right? You know the weapons, you know the vehicles, you know the locations. The game would be modern enough to where people don't complain about laser weapons or anything like that. And generally speaking, it'd be a pretty easy game to execute and implement all the things people want in a Battlefield game. The other setting that I think is a no-brainer is obviously Battlefield Bad Company 3. That is just a low-hanging fruit, pretty obvious. The title Bad Company 3 alone would catapult people's interests immediately in the next Battlefield game, regardless of how poor Battlefield 5 or Battlefield 2042 have performed. And you even have a point to start off from, because Battlefield Bad Company 2, of course, had a campaign, and you know where that ended off, and you can do a spin-off of the whole thing, and you know the history and the setting. And generally speaking, they just have a very easy time, in my opinion at least, deciding what the next Battlefield is going to be, because there are so many easy things to choose from. Before I get to the second thing, bear in mind, this all hinges on DICE's execution, right, ladies and gentlemen? So no matter how easy things might appear for DICE, it doesn't matter if they're easy, if they can't actually execute upon the ideas that they implement into this game. But with that being said, the second thing the next Battlefield has going for it is just how blatantly obvious the things you don't want to do are, especially from Battlefield 2042. This has always been obvious in my opinion. The feedback from the Battlefield community has always been literally shouted at DICE. It's just a question of, can they actually use their ears? And this is no different with the feedback from 2042. But what is different is just how obvious the things are. Don't do specialists, guys, okay? Just stop it. Axe that whole idea, throw it away. You tried it, no one cared, no specialists. And the same thing goes for so many things in Battlefield 2042. Hey DICE, it's probably a good idea to put a scoreboard in the game at launch, and have a server browser in the game at launch, and maybe have a class system in the game at launch, and maybe the game should be higher quality at launch. And perhaps the maps should actually have some effort put into them, because let's just face it guys, you can't really get away with making another Hourglass, can we? And I could go on and on about how obvious some of the things are that they shouldn't do in the next Battlefield, but it's obviously easier said than done, especially concerning DICE in terms of their execution. But with that being said, the bar is so low that we've actually misplaced the bar, and we can't find it anymore. So it isn't like you have to make another Battlefield 3 level game just to get back into the win column with your fans. Honestly, you could probably release a game that is like Battlefield Hardline, and it would be touted nowadays. Just a quick reminder, if you are enjoying the content so far, hit the like button on the video. Really appreciate everyone that does that. And of course, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on. I also stream every single day on YouTube and Twitch. The third thing the next Battlefield game has going for it, in my opinion, is the fact that they have more time to develop the game. It is well documented that Battlefield 2042 was severely undercooked. We're talking medium rare chicken, ladies and gentlemen. But let me preface this by saying, even though they have more time to develop the next Battlefield game, that doesn't necessarily mean the game will be better, because it doesn't matter if the extra time is wasted on a game that has bad concepts. And 2042 is a perfect example of what I mean. They could have delayed Battlefield 2042 for a decade, and that game still would have released an absolute failure, because people still would have complained about the specialist and the lack of scoreboard and the maps and the this and the that, right? So it doesn't matter, really, but for the sake of this video, I'm being Mr. Positive, they have more time. Round of applause in the comment section. And the fourth and final thing I will mention in this video for the positives going for the next Battlefield game is I genuinely believe with all of my being that it is actually not possible to make a game that is definitively worse than Battlefield 2042. And people love to joke and throw around the fact that, oh, of course the next Battlefield is going to be worse, Enders, of course. But I think a lot of those people are just saying it and they're not really thinking about the statement they're making. Because that is one big statement to make. They're essentially saying that the next Battlefield will have worse maps, worse content, worse gunplay, worse performance, a worse concept and setting for the game than Battlefield 2042, and in general, the game will just have a combination of elements that makes the game worse in comparison to 2042. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that's impossible. It just is. Even though DICE has a special talent for making pretty bad video game decisions, I genuinely do not believe that they're going to make the same number of mistakes in one game that they made in Battlefield 2042 in order to make Battlefield 2042 into what it is. You have to think about all the problems that 2042 has, and you have to think about all of the mistakes that they have to make in order to make the next game even worse than 2042. And when you take all of these things into account, it just reaches the point of literal impossibility, in my opinion. I will extend one olive branch to these people, though. The only way the next Battlefield game, in my opinion, can be worse than Battlefield 2042 is if DICE goes the full-on milsim route and makes Battlefield into something that it simply isn't. And I'm talking full-on milsim, okay? Like, there's no minimap anymore. You have to navigate like a 15-mile wide map. You take organ damage when you get shot. There's armor. There's crazy ballistics. They bring back suppression. Healing takes like a minute straight. You take another minute to take painkillers and all this sort of thing. And I don't think they will go that direction. But you know the shocking thing? I bet you some people in the comment section are going to listen to me say that and go, that sounds awesome! Have you considered playing Arma then, brothers? Or maybe Squad, or Hell Let Loose, or any of these other actual milsim games? Because Battlefield isn't a milsim, so just stop. So there you have it, guys. That is the positive side of the equation, in my opinion. If you want to leave your own positive things for the next Battlefield game in the comment section, feel free. I will read them. Also, there's very exciting news on Saturday. Be sure to keep an eye on my Twitter and my Discord. Speaking of Discord, join the Discord, first link in the description. Hit the like button on this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders, and on this YouTube channel you're watching right now. If you do come from this video, tell me that you came from the video in the YouTube chat if I'm live. I know what you're talking about, okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.